Last year has been quite fulfilling in so many ways as far as development and investment are concerned in the state. Of course, a lot needs to be done, a lot more. But if you look at last year, we spent quite a lot on, or invested a lot at the state level on infrastructure. I mean, new bridges, road construction, and so on and so forth. And don't also forget that was a year in which Nigeria tried to come out of recession as a country. So there was need for us to invest massively on infrastructure to be able to get employment going in the sectors like the artisan, your carpenters, bricklayers, and what have you, to keep giving people jobs, because as a government, we do believe that there is no better way out of recession than to spend your way out of recession. So a lot took place last year. I think we put in a lot of effort in security, in infrastructure, and in ease of doing business as far as investment is concerned. And I'm sure you could see that that eventually paid off in the sense that Nigeria as a country moved 24 steps in the ranking from 169 to about 145. The first time it has achieved that kind of feat ever. So we achieved quite a bit last year. Given the circumstances that the country was in as a whole. In investment, as I said, ease of doing business, and we have a lot of new interest coming in the year that just went past from different sectors. New countries also began to show a lot of, I said new in the sense of those that have not traditionally been too keen on investing in the country became more interested in investing in Lagos State. So.
I mean, it's interesting you mentioned that. Just to take you back a bit to what you just mentioned about the ease of doing business in 2017. I mean, it was a tough year in Nigeria, not just for Lagos State, for almost every state in the country. We had states struggling to even pay salaries, talk more of, completing projects to begin with. In terms, of when you talk about the ease of doing business in Lagos State, what do you think Lagos State did differently? What was the investor appetite in 2017? What were also their biggest concerns stepping into a country that was, going through that phase in its economy?
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. Let me start with what we did as a state. We realized that there were things that investors wanted to see on ground that were not on ground. You need to boost investors' confidence in you as a country, and more importantly, as a state. Let's be honest. Lagos is home to 65% of manufacturing activities in Nigeria as a whole. So a lot of investors are more interested in Lagos State than in most places. So it is not an accident that in ranking Nigeria as a country, Lagos accounts for 73%, Kano for 27%. So together they make up the 100% of the ranking. So we had to get it right, and luckily the federal government took the charge under PEBEC, under the office of His Excellency the Vice President of the country. Took charge of it, and we collaborated with it. And because here we have the office of OTCI, the Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation, which spearheaded our Ease of Doing Business. So the office here was able to work effectively with PEBEC in Abuja and be able to drill down to the minute questions of what do investors want? What gives them confidence? Is it security? Is it port? Is it immigration? I mean, things as banal as how much time do I spend when I come to your country in obtaining visa on arrival? It is not enough for the federal government to say, oh, now, foreigners or investors can get visa on arrival. If I come to your country and I'm going to be spending 5-6 hours to get visa on arrival, it's as good as, just applying in my own country and spending 2 or 3 days to get it, or weeks to get it. So there were changes in a lot of places. Things like how long do you spend in getting visa on arrival? Energy, there is a remarkable improvement, at least in some sectors, like security in Lagos State. We try to boost security in Lagos State. And of course, not forgetting the fact that one of the first things this administration did in Lagos State when it came to power in 2015 was creating my office, which is the Office of Overseas Affairs and Investment. So minutiae things like how does an investor connect with Lagos State, became at least more straightforward, so to say. They know if they pick their phone or an email and make a contact to my office, they will get a response. Then we can then link them with the appropriate quarters. So that contributes a lot to ease of doing business. So it's a lot of, it's a cavalcade of many things.
Let's just dissect this a bit. Let's start, of course, with security, physical security to begin with, and of course the security of contracts, which is actually very key in the state. Talk us through what has really played out in terms of ensuring security in Lagos State. I understand Lagos State, of course, has the Lagos State Security Trust Fund to begin with. Talk us through what's really playing out there and what the plan is for 2018.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You're absolutely right. Because when people often talk about security, they talk about the security, physical security of your person. But when you talk about investment climate, there is an absolute necessity to focus on the security of your investment. In terms of physical security, yes, the state, of course, traditionally is responsible for the security of its own people. But in Lagos State, we do have the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, LSSTF, which actually I am a member of. That is a fund, it's an interventionist fund. It's a body that helps the government and decides which areas of security do we need to intervene very quickly and very rapidly in. For instance, Lagos needs more policemen or policewomen, but we don't have it because there is limit to how much we can have as a state. We are 22 million and still growing. Lagos attracts 86 people per hour that come into Lagos, which almost everybody not wanting to go back from wherever they come. So all those put a lot of pressure on the facilities and the infrastructure of Lagos State, whether it's a road or anything, and necessarily there will be upsurge sometimes in crimes. So what has happened is that the fact that with Lagos State Security Trust Fund, the government has been able to look critically into all the security agencies active in Lagos State. The police, the IRS, which is part of police, the IRS, Operation Mesa, the Army, even the Navy, and so on and so forth. And we've been able to support all these institutions with, resources, with funding, with, buying new equipment for them, sometimes gunboats for the Navy, and things that will allow them to better engage, with the underworld in terms of dislocating them or dislodging them from the state. And as that is going on also, we upped our game as far as providing lightning is concerned. It gladdens the heart that when you drive around nowadays, a lot of places are well illuminated because obviously crimes and light, they don't go very well together. So there's been a lot of, again, we've improved significantly on our intelligence gathering in the state, like kidnapping, for instance. Kidnappers are not spirits.